So I got into a bit of a squabble yesterday on Instagram with the Latino community, surprisingly. And it was interesting because it started off as a conversation and then everybody got a little hostile, which I thought was funny. I know I'll be laughing when people get mad. But this is what happened. So somebody had made a comment about like, where are we? They're like, where are the black community? We haven't seen y'all speaking now. Like the Latino people have Joe back during George Floyd and we haven't seen you guys saying anything. Baby, this is the problem right here. And this is what I told him. I was like, this is the issue here. You're not actively engaged in our community. You're not an active, ongoing ally, because if you were, you would know that black people as a collective told y'all just a couple months ago that we were resting, that we weren't going to be leading the charge for anybody, that we're not protesting anybody's movements, we're not going to be on the front lines. We said that, and we said it over and over again, and a lot of us said it. Hundreds of thousands of us said it. So the fact that you don't know means you're not actively engaged in whatever's going on over here, and the only reason you're reaching out now is because you're scared and you need our allyship. Now, black people have always given our allyship freely, which is why people come to expect it, and they know that we've led the charge for civil rights historically. That's just always been the case. So I get why they would want our voices, but I'm tired of conditional allyship, and I'm tired of the support not being ongoing as it is when we're the ones on the giving end of it. When we step up for people, they don't have to ask us. Nobody has to say, hey, can y'all rock with us? We're already out there speaking and using our voices and our platforms and shit for you. You never have to ask. It seems like we have to be in peril for anybody to stand up for us and to do it in an ongoing type of way. We don't have a single community that fully supports us. Not one. We can't say, yeah, they always rocking with us. Not one group. Maybe a handful of each group, but definitely not a whole movement. But everybody gets that from us. And then they have the nerve to get mad when we say, well, we're not doing that. We don't feel safe putting ourselves out there like that. We need to take care of us. How is that bothering you? That's literally what everybody else does. So we got into that conversation and somebody told me that that was just an excuse. I don't need an excuse. An excuse means that I give a fuck what you think and I have to make up for why I'm doing what I'm doing. I told you straight up why I'm doing it. Because I'm resting. That's exactly what I'm doing. Now, do I condone this shit? Absolutely not. I think it's disgusting. I think it's evil. I think it's inhumane. And I don't like it. Will I let somebody get disrespected in front of me? No, because then you're disrespecting me by thinking you can do that shit. But am I going to be the one leading the charge for you? No, absolutely not. I don't fuck with that. I don't support it. But I'm not going to lead your protest either. I'm not leading any protests. I'll speak for my community every single day of my life because that's what you're supposed to do. But why is it a problem when black people decide, you know what, we're just going to do us? Everybody else is given that grace. Everybody else is allowed to do that. And then even using that as an argument, like we were there in 2020, that's part of the problem. Every time you show up in a big way, it's because it's on a global scale. It was a global movement. Everybody wanted to be part of something that was trending. But as soon as the trend died, how long did it take those people to remove the little black boxes from their Twitter bios? It's not ongoing. When we were out here getting gunned down and shot by the police and all that shit, where was your support then? Like, who was protesting then? So don't come over here asking me where I'm at, what we're doing. Like, it's not our job to lead this. If you guys are getting it bad, we're going to get it worse. Anything that's happened to you or happening to you has already happened to us, and a lot of people will threaten us with our own history. Like, well, you're going to be next. We were first. What do you mean? We were first. What do you mean we're going to be next? We already know what you're going through, which is why we were warning everybody. Y'all's responsibility was to take the information we were giving you back to your communities to change the minds of the masses so they won't vote for their own oppression. Either it didn't work or you didn't do it, but how is it our responsibility to fix that? Because that happened. No, 90% of our community did what we were supposed to do. We did what was in the best interest of everybody. But y'all were so hell-bent on thinking that DEI and all that shit only meant us that you didn't give a fuck. You voted for who you thought was going to benefit you somehow. And I don't even know how you got there because he straight up said what he was going to do from the jump. And I will never give that man credit. But honestly, he did. From the jump, it was obvious what he was going to do. He never hid that. But you thought it was only going to affect a certain group of people. And now that you see you're affected, you want all of us to stand up in the gap for you. You want us to take a federal charge trying to fight ICE and shit. I'm not doing that. I'm not. I think that it's disgusting, like I said, and that stuff shouldn't be happening. But I'm not going to jail or dying because people chose to vote against themselves. I'm not doing it. And that's how I feel about it. So it turned into a whole discussion, whole debate like that. And honestly, y'all, I don't really give a fuck how they feel about it. I don't. I love everybody. I don't want this for anybody, which is why I voted the way I did, which is why I've been actively speaking out on these issues for a few years now, because I didn't want it to come to this. But at this point, people still did what they wanted to do. They did what they thought was in their best interest, and here we are. So you got to deal with the consequences of everybody's actions, unfortunately.